Hello. Can everyone hear us? Yeah. Whoop. Right, we have sorted the scoreboard out. We've got 10 people on track. Just count. Yeah, I think that's 10. Is that 10? If anyone's got a penalty already, we've got a problem. Right, we're just getting everybody in place. Everybody feeling tense? So our first game of today, we have got Norfolk Brawds playing London Roller Derby's Brawls. So we've got Dixie jamming for Brawl Saints.
And we've got Inky Minx jamming for the Norfolk Broads.
And that's it. Oh, quick lead jammer there from Inky Minx. Dixie being recycled back by Terminal Velocity.
Some lovely work on the outside line there.
And that is Jam 1. Give us a wave if you've never seen roller derby before and have absolutely no idea what just happened. Wow, that's quite a lot. So our quick rundown, the jammers with the stars on their helmets, they score points by passing the blockers, which is the other 8 people on track. The first time they go through the pack, they don't get any points, but the first jammer that gets out, as Inky did in that jam, is your lead jammer. And they can call the jam off whenever they want by tapping their hips. And that is punch this time for London, picking up your lead jammer status this time. Which means punch is now coming around and can score points for every Norfolk blocker that they pass. I think this might be the earliest time in a game I've had to explain a star pass.
So when the jammer took off the star and passed it to Danny Hell, who had the lovely stripe on their helmet. They're the pivot. They're the only other person that can take the star and become a jammer.
So we start this jam. We have an official timeout. We've got one Norfolk blocker in the penalty box from the previous jam, which means London start with a slight pack advantage.
So this jam, we've got Jojo Yobari jamming for Norfolk Broads.
And that is Peter Parker jamming for London. You see the pack started at the front this time. Jammers have to start behind the line closest to us. And the pack starts between the jammer line and the pivot line, which is the line right next to turn 1. Norfolk now with lead jammer. Norfolk jammer coming around, scoring points up against a tough 3-wall from Brawl Saints. Parker now out on their initial pass. So an important note from that jam, you saw Parker take their star off and then put it back on again. The jammers cannot score points if they're not wearing the star on their helmet. Very important to remember to put it back on again. So we've got a lovely close game so far. Parker picking up 3 points in that jam. So we've got 7 points for Brawl Saints and 6 for Norfolk.
We have Inky Minx for Norfolk. And straight out of the pack.
Of course, a few of you might recognise Inky. If you've been to London games before, I suspect some of the Brawl Saints blockers are used to trying to block Inky. He used to be a jammer for Brawlin.
So London currently skating with a little bit of an advantage as we still have one of the Norfolk Brawds blockers in the box.
Yep, Norfolk choosing to run this jam, which means even though they have the power to call the jam off, they are running the jam presumably to burn time off the clock and get those blockers out of the penalty box. So a penalty lasts 30 seconds. I'm not going to list all the ways that you can get a penalty in roller derby because there's quite a lot of them.
Just a few.
You can break them down into broadly hitting people with bits of you you're not allowed to hit people with, hitting bits of other people that you're not allowed to hit, and being in the wrong place generally or particularly whilst initiating contact with people. So it's Dixie now making quick work with that inside line, picking up lead jammer for Brawl Saints.
And Danger Moose working hard around that brawling wall.
Yeah. 3 points picked up by Dixie in that jam, which quick sprint back to the jammer line. London taking the back line this time. Lovely tight wall at the back there. And another star pass from Norfolk as a great way to shut down a jam, get the star out, forcing Punchline to call off the jam, but not before she picked up 4 points for London, which brings us 18 plays 19. It's a 1-point game again.
Nice and stressful.
I've already announced one really stressful game in the last 7 days. There's a photo of me and Snatch crouched down on the floor at the end of the Oxford game last week. And now it's Peter Parker for Brawl Saints. Picking up lead.
Alot Mental still fighting with that London wall.
Norfolk making it very, very difficult there for Parker to pick up 4 points, but they made it through.
So Norfolk have completed a star pass to Vixen, but unfortunately for them, still stuck in the London wall.
So So you see Park now being recycled right round almost to turn 1. So if you get knocked off the track, whether you're a jammer or a blocker, you have to come back on behind anyone who had superior position to you at the point that you were knocked off the track.
On that, sorry, it was not a legally completed star pass. The star did go back to allotmental.
That was a good spot. I had not noticed that. So we have 26 plays 19. Savage and Inky Minx on the jam line. And we have 2 Norfolk blockers in the box. But that doesn't stop Inky picking up lead jammer again. I think that's 100% lead for Inky so far.
I think you're right.
Oh, big hit on Savage.
Big run back too.
Savage with a star in hand. Unfortunately, a pivot in the penalty box at the moment.
Some beautiful offense there from Norfolk. And Inky taking a quick jump on that inside line for 4 more points.
And we do have now a star pass to Dixon from Brawl Saints. So Dixon is now the active jammer. Inky calling off the jam though before Brawl Saints could pick up any points. So we've got a lead change. 12 points for Norfolk in that jam, which takes them 5 points ahead of London with 31 against 26, but still super tight. I was going to say all to play for, but I might save that for later.
That's the second half.
So someone make a note to put that on the announcer bingo cards when we make them. That is Danger Moose jamming for Norfolk, and Dixie up at the front there just picking up lead for Brawl Saints. Norfolk doing really, really good work with these star passes.
That is Vixen taking the star for Norfolk.
Really quick star passes, but also really good. Like, I'm not seeing them happen, which is what you want. Nice and sneaky through the pack. Yeah, that was 4 points in that jam for Dixie.
Did Norfolk pick up an...
Quick penalty picked up by one of the London blockers. So pack advantage now to Norfolk. Little sprint to the outside and then a cut back gives the Norfolk jammer lead jammer status. Star pass completed to Dixon, I think that is. Oh, and Dixon picking up a cut track penalty. So we have our first power jam.
So for this 30 seconds, that means that Norfolk Brawds don't have to keep the other jammer in the pack. They can just help their jammer through.
Norfolk there choosing to call off the jam, icing the London jammer in the penalty box.
And sending out Inky Minx for a power start.
Ooh. London managing to hold Inky for an impressive 10 seconds at the beginning of that jam. So how my never seen roller derby before people doing? Are we getting it yet? Yeah?
If our explanations aren't very good, there are some lovely ones written in the front of your lovely little
programs?
Program booklet.
If you haven't managed to get a program, you can get a program from the entry desk. You can also get popcorn, you can get beer and soft drinks from the bar, you can buy merch from both London and the lovely Norfolk Brawds. And Norfolk also have a QR code at their merch table with a fundraiser that they will happily talk to you about for one of their skaters. Please go and check it out.
And don't forget your raffle tickets.
Wouldn't be roller derby without a raffle.
So we've got Danger Moose on the line jamming for Norfolk.
And Magic Toe Stops from Dixie down the outside line. And we have a power jam in favour of London now. That was the Norfolk Jammer picking up a cut track penalty. So they went off the track and gained position on somebody. Either didn't realise they'd gone off, came back on.
London also with quite a big pack advantage for this. Beautiful recycle from the Norfolk Broads there.
It was almost half the track. The Norfolk Jammer now out of the penalty box and completing the initial pass. Dixie calling the jam off. I really like the sequin jacket, but it's very sweaty. Might have to lose it in a minute.
You do still have live fast pet dogs, so that's the important thing.
That's true, we saw a dog on the way here as well, didn't we? There was a dog on the underground.
It was very adorable.
Made my day. No offence to all the lovely skaters, but there was a dog. Dogs win. Oh, I think we're having an official review.
I think you might be right. So each team has one official review per half, and they can either say that they think there should have been a penalty against one of the opposing team, or that one of their penalties shouldn't stand, or occasionally a change to the score.
So in news that will surprise nobody that knows me, I wasn't paying attention and I didn't see that happen. All I know is that the official review was not retained. They didn't win the official review. So the team that called the official review have lost their official review for this period.
We can't see the dots, so I can't. So back to the action. We've got Jojo Yabari jamming for Norfolk.
And that is Punch picking up a penalty. So we have a power jam in favour of Norfolk Brawds, who are currently only 2 points ahead. We are just over halfway through the first half of this game.
Jojo working hard to push that wall out of play.
So you may see the Broads blockers standing still there, and London gradually having to drop one blocker to do what we call a bridge. The blockers have to stay within 10 feet of each other to maintain what we call the pack. So they can't just carry on halfway around the track while the Norfolk blockers are there. It's quite a good way to help your jammer out by doing nothing. A little huddle on the inside of turn 4 there. Norfolk jammer and captain there sent for a little sit down by irate and then helped back up again at the end of the jam. Roller derby is a lovely sport.
Brawds picking up 8 points on that scoring pass.
So that is Alot Mental and Beta Barker on the jam line. Pack starting at the front. Quick run back on 5 seconds. Nice bit of sneaky offense from Max Voltage to help her jammer get lead. Oh, big hit to the inside from the Norfolk pivot. And a super enthusiastic call off from Barker there. So we have 46 plays 52. 12 and a half minutes left in this half. So I can tell this is going to be another game where I'm going to be sitting on the floor in a puddle at the end of it. Like, I don't want to look, but I don't want to not look. Dixie and Inky on the jam line. 2 Norfolk blockers in the penalty box.
Quick skip to the inside and then back to the out for London there for lead jammer.
And we have a forearm penalty assessed to Inky Minx. So this is now a power jam for Dixie and London Brawl Saints. You see the bench coaches doing this. It means keep going.
Some lovely work from London there, getting Dixie through the pack.
And that is another lead change. London, I was going to say London now 2 points ahead, but there's another scoring pass, so that'll be 6 points ahead. And we've had a star pass now from Inky.
2-1-7 Vixen for the Brawds.
Oh, and Dixie's in the penalty box. So we have a power jam now for Norfolk.
Which also means this jam will run for the full 2 minutes.
That is very true. Dixie had lead jammer status, but unfortunately, because they have been assessed a penalty, they're not able to retain lead jammer status. And once lead's been assessed, no one else can have it either. It's a bit like a toddler in a cookie, like, it's mine now, you can't have it, but also Dixie can't have it either. So no one can call the jam off, so the jam will run for the full 2 minutes, of which there are about 20 seconds left.
Both jammers caught up in those walls.
Oh, big hit there on the outside line just on turn 2, but ridden out beautifully by Dixie to stay in bounds.
Does that make me a real announcer now that I've set off the announcer's curse?
Yes, 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 it does. So another sneaky lead change at the end of that jam. 12 points in that jam for Dixie, 8 for Norfolk. So we have 58 points for Brawl Saints, plays 60 points for Norfolk Roller Derby. Just a reminder, if you haven't bought your raffle tickets yet, there's some really nice raffle prizes. We're going to draw the raffle at halftime of the second game, so you've got time to get them.
So that is Danger Moose out as your lead jammer for Norfolk. And calling off the jam before Punch could get back in to score any points. So this jam, we've got Jojo Yubari up against Beta Parker. I think we've seen this lineup a few times already.
Yes. I don't actually know, I'm just saying yes. Offense there, taking out the London brace. Unfortunately, that 2-wall, they don't need their brace. They're all right.
At this point, I don't think either of those walls have got any give for those jammers.
This is a very slow grind jam that we've seen. 30 seconds and the pack's barely made it to the pivot line, and we haven't got a lead jammer yet, and it's the first time.
Some offense from Norfolk there, but London...
Oh, lovely little hop and a skip.
Oh, but not quite.
So I believe this will be another 2-minute jam because the Norfolk jammer has been assessed a penalty and therefore is not eligible for lead. And Parker had removed her star and is also now taking a seat in the penalty box. So we've got a jammer switcheroo. So for my lovely first-time roller derby fans, we have to have a jammer on the track. We can't leave them both in the penalty box. It's really boring because nobody can do anything. So if one jammer's already in the box and the other jammer gets sent to the box, we immediately release the first jammer, and the second jammer to take a seat in the penalty box serves the same amount of time as the first jammer did. Is that clear as mud? So we do now have everybody back on track.
And back to that nice slow grind. Some lovely defense from both teams.
You say nice. I'm not sure the jammers agree with you.
That's probably true, but it's great to watch.
So we had 4 points scored by Norfolk in that jam. Brawl Saints completing the initial pass with a star pass right at the end of the jam.
So we've got Savage jamming for the Brawl Saints up against Alot Mental for Norfolk.
Savage taken to the outside line, recycled back by Norfolk. Alot Mental coming round on their first scoring pass now. There's a beautiful 2-wall at the back there from number 8-9 Kelly Kapowski and 999 Danny Hell.
London with the recycle for Alot Mental there, bringing them back to the back of the pack.
So Alot Mental, they're picking up the full 4 points for that jam, so passing each one of those blockers, despite not kind of noticeably making it out of the engagement zone at the end of the pass.
Taking us up to a 14-point game, which is, I think, is the biggest differential we've had so far.
I think you're right. I was just thinking the same thing. So 58 points placed, 72. And there are just over 4.5 minutes
And
left.
we have a team timeout for London.
So this would be a good moment to give you a quick rundown of our rosters for this game. Elf, do you want to do Norfolk?
Yeah, so for skating for Norfolk, we have 1-1, Scary Quadmother, 1-4, Broad Shoulders, 1-7, Vixen, 1-7-3, Cruel Runnings, D20, Polyhedral, 2-1-2, Danger Moose, 2-5, Terminal Velociphy, 2-5-3, Jojo Yubari, 2-6-1, Bad Omen, 6-6-6, Devil Bird, 7, Alot Mental, 8-1, Inky Minx, 8-9, Kelly Kapowski, 915 Applebite and 999 Danny Hell.
And skating in the black For London Brawl Saints, we have 088 Amazing Disgrace, 212 Beastie Noise, 62 Beta Parker, 56 Dixie, 02 Dixon, P53 Dr. Jean Knockout, 141 LC Me Rollin, 300 Ernest, 8 Irate, 26 Iron Bars, 240 Max Voltage, 17 Nina, 999 Oblivion Newton John, 355 Pandemonium, 540 Cyclone, 68 Punch, 1972 Rhea Douglas, 716 Sailor Doom, 9041 Savage, 90 She Ruthless, and 150 Snatch.
Beautifully timed, just as everyone's back on the line.
So each team can take a timeout. I think they get 3 per game. A little 1 minute, have a rest, have a regroup.
And we've got 8-1 Inky Minx jamming against Dixie for London.
We have some penalties being assessed. That is one of the London blockers taking a seat for a destruction of pack penalty.
And we have our lead jammer at the back, Dixie, as Inky Minx managed to get out, but with a no pass, no penalty, which means they weren't eligible for lead jammer.
That's right, you have to pass everybody upright and in bounds. So even though Dixie was the second jammer to exit the engagement zone, they were assessed lead jammer and were able to call the jam off, holding that to a 0-0 jam, which I always want to call a pointless jam. It's not pointless, we enjoyed watching it.
We have Punch up against Danger Moose, with London with a pretty substantial pack advantage, with only 2 broad blockers out on the track.
We've got a very short pack now, as Disgrace taking a seat in the penalty box.
So we now have only 2 blockers for each team.
I was going to say we haven't, we've got 3, but that's the Norfolk jammer who'd taken their star off. I see what happened there.
We have a very quick moving pack, and London calling it off after picking up 3 more points.
So 7 total in that jam for London, bringing their score a little bit closer. We have 65 plays 72, so there are 7 points in it. The nice thing about a close game is it makes the maths really easy.
That is a good point. Lovely hug on the line there from Beta Parker and Inky Minx. So Norfolk with the pack advantage starting this jam with 1 London blocker in the box. Inky dragging the pack out and getting to the edge of the engagement zone.
Nice little pirouette and comes out of the pack backwards from Beta Parker, completing the initial burst. Sprinting towards the back of the pack, but Inky calling the jam off. 4 up for Norfolk, and no points in that jam for Brawl Saints. We shout out to our track repair volunteers.
As we have an official timeout, let's read you out the lovely list of our officials. Starting with our non-skating officials, we have Scrim Shady, Jessasaurus, Emery of the State, Texas Heat, Ramit, Nina, Madge, Hissing Hellcat, Kama, Block Nez Monster, Olat, and Kaboomy.
Now we'll give you our skating officials next time there is a timeout. So Dixie and Danger Moose, your jammers in this jam. Danger Moose at the back there fighting that London wall. Dixie up at the front. Ooh.
Nice little jump on the apex there from Dixie.
I didn't see what happened on the outside line, but I've seen Dixie's toe stop work enough now that I'll just picture it in my head.
Some great work from the Norfolk ball there, managing to slow Dixie down and hold them. But not for long. And it looks like there's been a star pass and the Norfolk jammer is now in the box. And London calling it off to ice the Norfolk jammer in the box. And that is half-time.
Go and get some raffle tickets, get some popcorn, get some delicious London Roller Derby beer, but not too much. Leave some for me, because I'd quite like another one. Yeah. That is 75 points by 76 at the end of this half. I've been over the Painbow. This is Elf Indulgence, and we'll be back in approximately 14 and a half minutes. Hey, are we ready for some more roller derby? I'm not sure I am. It's too exciting. It's too tense. Can't deal with this.
I don't think you can get much closer than a 1-point game, to be fair.
You could have a tie game.
That's why I said much closer. But no one wants a tie game.
Has everybody bought raffle tickets?
Has everyone got their ducks?
I thought that was Bull Saints all responding to me saying, have you got raffle tickets? Like, yeah, we've all got them.
But they better do. It looks like we have all of our NSOs getting back in place. I think we're about ready.
So after this game, don't go anywhere. We've got another game of roller derby after this one. We've got London Roller Derby's Battersea playing a team made up of people who thought it would be nice to come and skate against Battersea.
Who have named themselves Power Slation. And we are back for the second half of game one. We have the Norfolk jammer still sat in the box. And it looks like we have Dixie up for London.
So this is a power jam start for London. Pack starting on the pivot line. That's new.
Oh, and rolling forward.
Sideways, round the outside line, on toe stops, lead jammer, Dixie.
It's like we might have seen that before. Maybe about 15 minutes ago.
And Norfolk appear to have chosen to put out Inky Minx as their pivot, taking a star pass from the previous pivot turned jammer, who finished the first half in the penalty box.
And a beautiful call off from Dixie on the floor after a massive hit from the Brawds. And that is our first lead change of this half.
To say lead change. To say it like that, but not if they do it every jam, because it gets tiring. Norfolk choosing to take the back line at the start of this jam.
So we have Punch up against Danger Moose as your jammers. Punch out as your lead jammer with a fast moving pack.
So after that little sprint round the track, we have a 0-point jam. Our score remains 79 points to London Roller Derby's Brawl Saints and 76 points to Norfolk Roller Derby.
And we have Jojo Yubari up against Beta Parker.
Little dance going on in the middle of in between the two packs there.
That's what we love about Derby. Never too much dancing on the jam line. And that is Jojo Ubari out for lead for Norfolk.
As Parker picking up a big hit, being recycled back round to turn 4.
Brawds getting through for 4 more points. And that is another lead change.
And we have had a star pass from Parker to a 1-7. That is Nina for Brawl Saints. Norfolk calling off the jam.
So Norfolk picking up 6 points in that jam, taking their differential up to 3 points.
Both packs seeming to settle a bit. We're seeing some really solid walls.
We are. Those jammers are definitely having to work for all of those points.
Apologies, we're just trying to find out how much raffle tickets cost you. It was £1 for 1 strip,
£2 for 3, and £3 for 5. And you can also, for the same price, buy some beautiful ducks that you get to throw at us later on. So you know you want to get in on that action. We have Danger Moose up against Savage on the jam line for this jam.
And please go and check out the merch tables from both teams.
And that is lead jammer status for Savage. We have 1 blocker from each team with a seat in the box. So we have 3 skaters for each pack.
That was another lovely little announcer's curse there, because there's actually now 2 Norfolk Broads blockers in the box, as you said it.
I'm getting to be good at this.
You know you're good when you've been announcing a while, when you just think, oh, there hasn't been any penalties for a while, and 3 people get sent off. Don't even have to say it out loud.
So we have Jojo Ubari up against Punch for London Brawl Saints. Really solid 2-wall there from Norfolk, but not quite enough to hold Punch.
A little juke to the out and back to the middle gets Jojo out and through on the initial.
And that is London calling it off, I believe.
Yep, 4 points up for Bunch, called the jam off.
And freezing 2 of the Norfolk blockers in the box. So starting with another pack advantage. So we have Alok Mental and Beta Parker up as your jammers of note, with Beta Parker getting lead.
Yeah, a bit of offense from my rate for against that 2-wall.
That is a big recycle on Alok Mental. And a very solid Norfolk wall for Beta Parker to run into there.
The Norfolk pivot just trying to help their jammer out there with some offense, but that London wall just recycling, reforming.
That Norfolk 3-wall being very solid and refusing to give any space for Beta Parker there.
Yeah, I think that is the Norfolk jammer in the penalty box. So we will start the next jam with a power jam.
And you know what that means for London? It's a lead change.
So everyone has to do the power jam hand signals, which is this. No one's doing it.
No one's listening. Oh no, we've got one friend in the crowd. We're all right.
Hey. So while we have a quick time out, I will read you our skating officials. Our lovely stripy friends, our Apex Twink, and our queer, Cluster Schmuck, Haymaker, Power Nap, Scrim Reaper, and The Favourite. All the officials are our favourites. We get a big cheer for all our officials. So thank you.
And while we're here, let's say a massive thank you to our hopefully unneeded medics. Keeping us safe while we all do the skatey fun things. Another pivot line start. We seem to be having a lot of those this game.
So Dixie on the jam line for Brawl Saints for this power jam start. Let's see if London can pull out any more of a lead in this jam.
Norfolk working hard to contain the jammer there, while Brawl Saints were getting all up in their wall.
Oh, big take out there for Dixie. That was 915 Applebite, I think, with that big hit.
Yep. And that big callback. But Dixie getting through for those 4 points, taking London over the century mark. Alok Mental managing to get out and force the call there.
One more sneaky point up on the board for London, just at the end of that jam.
And is that Dixie back out with the start again?
Yeah, Dixie's just going to jam every jam now.
I don't know where they're getting all this energy from. I clearly need to be doing more cardio.
I was going to say it's the London Roll Derby beer, but it's not that. You can't have beer and skate. But you all can have London Roller Derby beer.
It looks like Dixie doesn't need any to get out for lead jammer.
Calling the jam off and then doing a little apex jump for funsies while calling the jam. And it looks like they did land it before the end of the first 4 whistles, so picking up 4 points. Again, you will hear the refs blowing 4 short blasts on their whistles, and that will then be echoed by the other refs. The official end of the jam is the 4th whistle of the first set of 4.
Any points scored after that 4th whistle don't count.
Well, they're not points scored then. They don't count. Big huddle in between the jammer and the pivot line.
London dropping their offense to go and join the wall, trying to hold that Norfolk jammer.
We call that the sad place in between that tripod there because it's no fun. So we do have a lead jammer. Now that is Danger Moose from Norfolk coming round now on their first scoring pass.
And we have a cut track being issued on the London Jammer.
Norfolk opting to call the jam off, having picked up 1 point. So Parker will start this jam in the box, and we have a power jam start for Norfolk.
And it looks like we have Jojo Yubari taking that power jam start. Or not quite yet.
So that is an official review called
by London, I believe. Painbow is going into the middle so we can tell you all things that are going on with this lovely official review. So as you can see, both captains of the teams and both bench managers will go over to tell the refs, and the team calling the official review will tell the refs what they saw, what they think should have happened instead, and what they want the outcome to be. The refs will then decide whether the call stands and they will lose their official review, or if the refs decide that it was actually correct, then the official review will be retained and the team will be able to use it again later if they win their official review. All the skaters making friends with our lovely jam timer for the day.
So that was the black team looking for a cut track penalty on the Norfolk jammer in the previous jam. Forgot my words for a minute. However, the referees did not agree that there was a cut track, and therefore black have lost their official review. Lovely penalty kill work happening here from the London blockers.
Norfolk trying to separate that tripod and just not quite working out.
That was nearly 25 seconds into this power jam for lead jammer to be assessed to Norfolk. Excellent work from those blockers.
Those walls just really have letting those jammers go absolutely nowhere today.
Lovely little dip there on the outside line to evade any contact and pick up a second 4-point scoring pass. 8 points in that jam for Norfolk, 0 for London. 108 points, plays 95, which by my maths is 13 points.
I make that 13 as well. Either that or we're both wrong. It may be known to happen. So we have Inky Minx and Dixie up on the jam line. And that is Inky Minx out as your lead jammer. Applebite with the really long draw back on Dixie there.
Yeah, so jammer's able to yield a cut track. It used to be that if you came back on accidentally, you would immediately pick up a cut track penalty. But you can yield. However, it does look like Dixie did pick up a cut track penalty at some point whilst trying to complete that initial pass. So we have a power jam for Norfolk.
And looks like, oh, we're one skater back up, but we do still have one blocker in the box for London as well. So they have a little bit of a pack disadvantage here. Some beautiful backwards skating there from Inky Minx. And Inky Minx calling it just as Dixie gets back round to the pack.
Yeah, 16 points. Huge. I think that's the biggest score in this game so far. 16 points for Inky, so we've had another lead change. 108 points plays 111. Massive jam.
This game just is going to be close all the way through, isn't it? There's going to be nothing. And that is Jojo Yobari out as your lead jammer. That Norfolk wall are working really, really hard against those London jammers.
Big contain and take out to the inside line from Rhea Douglas. Punch now completing their initial pass. Star back on.
Brawds picking up 4 more points, taking them up to 115 against London's 108.
So we are just over halfway through the second half already.
London working hard, getting their jammer out for lead.
Big cheer here from the crowd for Savage. Little sneaky there from Danger Moose, little sneaky trick. Follow the other team's jammer through the pack.
Big hit from London skater. Amazing disgrace, but because they also went off track, it was not a cut track for the Brawds jammer.
So London opting to run this jam. Both jammers now taken out to the inside. Little bit of backwards roller derby. So we're allowed to skate in non-derby direction, but not allowed to initiate contact while you're moving in non-derby direction, which is clockwise. Derby direction being anti-clockwise.
The other interesting tip when you have some really beautiful blocking like this is that your blockers are not allowed to stop moving. That is a penalty called a stop block, so they have to keep their feet moving the entire time.
I feel like getting a stop block penalty is basically just a penalty for being too good at blocking, which is what I tell myself when I get them. I don't have to feel bad about those penalties.
As a skater, that's what we like to think. I'm sure the officials think differently. Great little turn on the outside there from Danger Moose to get past and pick up a couple of points. London picking up 8, it looks like, against 4 for the Brawds, taking us back to a 3-point game.
Nobody knows.
So we have an official timeout for our lovely track repair people so they can fix the mess that our skaters make of the tape so that we all keep our lines nice and clean so we know when we get those cut tracks.
Yeah, you can't see it, but for those who've not been to a game of roller derby before, the tape on the track lines has rope underneath it so that skaters can feel where the track lines are. Unfortunately, that means that it gets ripped up quite a lot.
Which is why we have all these lovely volunteers doing the wonderful job of keeping the track repaired.
So did anybody do the boot camp this afternoon with Brawling? Give us a wave. Was it amazing?
How are you feeling, Power Nap, after doing this and then reffing 2 games?
like they want a power nap, I think.
Fair.
Possibly just a nap.
So we have Inky Minx and Dixie as your jammers of note.
Race.
No one wants to be giving up those points, so we have a very fast-moving pack. And a lovely visit from Apex.
Yeah, Dixie there deciding, I don't want to try and run. It's quite near the end of the game now.
So holding both teams to 0 points for that jam. Some argy-bargy from the jammers right off the line there.
Just one big 10-person cuddle on the jam line for a minute. Pack now splitting up a little bit. We've got solid London 3-wall at the back, and Punch making it out the front, just avoiding the hit from the Norfolk pivot.
And Norfolk's offense getting the job done there against that London wall, managing to get their jammer out.
Punch completing the scoring pass, looking to the bench for instruction. Bench says, just call it.
You know what that
Someone
gives
said
us?
lead change. Who said that? Hey, do you want to come and have a go?
I'm loving the duck accessory too.
Yeah, I haven't got any ducks yet. Someone make sure I remember to buy... Oh, no, I can't buy ducks, can I?
I did, but I guested them to some of the lovely audience members so they can throw them at us later.
And then just drop it at my feet, that's probably cheating. I might buy some raffle tickets, though.
You can't throw them yet. You've got to wait for the right time.
Yeah, please don't throw your ducks on the track. We wouldn't want that.
One game at a time.
So Inky battling a solid 3-wall from London.
Beta Parker working against that Norfolk wall. But Inky getting out for that lead. Some beautiful toe-stop work on that inside line.
Ooh.
And Inky is on the way to the box, so that means this jam is going to go for the full 2 minutes.
That was either I think that was a high block or a leading with the head.
High block.
So 2-minute jam now. I know you already said that.
It was a high jam because they did the 80s power move. The refs have wonderful signals for all of the penalties that you can commit.
Which really helps us to know what's going on. Like I can see that someone's got a forearms penalty.
That would be the pivot from the Norfolk Brawds by the look of it.
We obviously have a cut track penalty, which is this.
But I can tell you it's not Beta Parker.
So both jammers now on track.
And scoring.
Coming round to score.
Inky Minx working to get her hips around because your hips past the other blocker's hips are all that matters for that point. So leading with your hips can be a way to score some cheeky points right before those whistles go.
So that looks like 10 points went up for London in that jam. Just clarifying. So 10 points apiece, 10 points for each team in that jam. So London on 130 and Norfolk on 129. It's very close. There are 7 minutes left.
And we have Jojo Yubari up against Dixon.
And that is lead jammer for Dixie. And Jojo Yubari out now.
Quick little jump on that inside line. Cut track on Dixie there as they were skating out of bounds when they tried to call the jam.
So that'll be another 2-minute jam now, as lead status, as I said before, lost when you pick up a penalty.
That London wall working really, really hard to keep Jojo Yubari contained, even with Norfolk working on their offense.
It was just one solid 8-blocker wall for a minute there.
I think that when you're the jammer, that's definitely the bad place. Have I said before, quick little jump on the inside line from Dixie?
Yeah, once or twice, I think. Seems fair.
So London putting 7 points up on the board that jam against Norfolk's 4.
So we have a team timeout, I think, called by Norfolk.
The officials also taking advantage of this team timeout to have a little huddle in the middle.
This would be a good chance to go and get some raffle tickets and some ducks if you haven't done it already. Get some popcorn, buy a programme, get some merch.
Buy a London roller derby beer.
And then bring it to me.
This is what I love about roller derby. You can have lovely hugs on the line and everyone's friends, and then that whistle goes. So Punch being subbed out for Dixie on that jam line, up against Inky Minx. And it looks like we're starting with 2 of London's blockers in the box, so that is a pack advantage for Norfolk.
So there are just under 5 minutes left in this game, and there is only 4 points difference in the scores.
It's going to be tense right to the end, I think.
Now would be a really good time to start making some noise and cheering for your favourite team and your favourite jammers.
So who out in the crowd is cheering for Norfolk? They're not going to tell me, they're too busy watching this great derby. That is Inky Minx as your lead jammer.
There was a lot of shouting over there on the far side, and I got distracted trying to work out what was going on.
Oh, no, you announcers cursed us. I asked what could be closer than a 1-point game.
Oh. Oh, folks. Have you seen the score? I've never had to announce an overtime jam yet.
You've voiced it now.
Yet. I didn't. Jessasaurus voiced it first. I just repeated it into the microphone, which, now I say it, might have been a bad idea.
Overtime jams in Derby definitely do not happen that often, unless you're in High Wycombe. So we have a team timeout for Norfolk, holding us at 4 minutes and 2 seconds left of this game.
Is the penalty box half full or half empty?
I think it depends which team you ask.
That's a fair point. We have, so we've got both pivots in the box and a bonus Brawl Saints blocker. Inky Minx jamming for Norfolk, Punch jamming for London.
And that is Inky Minx on their way to the box.
We've got a power jam!
Big hit there from the Norfolk pivot.
It's too tense. I can't talk anymore.
Oh. Someone's knee pad's given up. We're not the only ones that can't handle the stress.
That is an official review called by Norfolk. I will go and find out. Okay, so Norfolk were looking for a low block call on one of the London blockers. The review was not retained. No penalties other than those that have already been issued. That is Dixie, your lead jammer for London.
And you have Jojo Yubari skating for the Brawl. That Brawl Saints wall at the front is looking pretty solid.
That is a third 4-point scoring pass now for Dixie. 12 points so far in this jam. Oh! And unfortunately, that apex jump either wasn't in bounds at takeoff or landing, and Dixie has picked up a cut track penalty.
That puts Dixie on 5 penalties that we have.
So an opportunity now. Never mind. So jammer switcheroo. And that jam ending before Dixie had time to get round to score any more points.
We have Norfolk calling a team timeout.
I think they've used all 3 timeouts in this half, if it feels like there's been a lot. Yes, so as my lovely announcer friend, the lovely elf Indulgence, just pointed out, because there was a timeout called, that means we may get one more jam.
After all our lovely volunteers have finished with their track repair.
So let's make some noise, everybody, for this last jam.
I'm not sure that was loud enough.
Come and get your high fives from your skaters at the end of this jam, and then stick around for a minute. We've got a lovely friend of mine who's going to come and talk to you for a sec, so don't run away.
And that is Dixie calling the jam, holding the scores to 140 for Norfolk.
So we will just get our lovely officials to check all the scores have been awarded correctly, everybody's happy with the paperwork, and then when this unofficial score is made official, we will let you know what the score is.
I do love the paperwork. And that lovely rolling whistle means that everything is official.
So your official final score, Norfolk Roller Derby, 140 points. London Roller Derby's Brawl Saints, 159 points.
If you want to high-five your players, please make your way to the edge of the track.